The Only Fools and Horses podcast. We're talking all about the convention 2022. So, Chris, how was it?
Oh, it was brilliant, Chris, to be honest. Better than I could have ever imagined. People would say £250. It's quite expensive, which I get that. But, to meet David Jason is just priceless, really. Yeah, it was worth every penny, I thought, and we're Monday now, and I went on Saturday. I'm still buzzing from it and smiling and really chuffed to bits that I've actually met him. It's one of them things where you never think you're going to meet him or have the opportunity to meet him. So to do it was brilliant,
Yeah, dream come true.
Dream come true, yeah, definitely. I think if like yourself, if somebody said, which 3 people do you want to meet, he'd be definitely one of them, probably the number one, really. David Jason, yeah. Nick Lyndhurst wouldn't be far behind, of course. So that's the next ambition now.
Well, I wonder if that'll ever happen.
Well, yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Hopefully it'll happen. Yeah, it would be good, wouldn't it? To see the two of them together would be the end of the rainbow stuff, wouldn't it? That
you'd definitely have to go back again then, wouldn't you? To have a picture with Rodney and Del Boy in the flat.
Definitely would, wouldn't I? Yeah, I suppose I'd have to go because I went as Del Boy, which I'll show you some photos after in this gear. I've got Albert then, I suppose, would I?
You could do, yeah.
Yeah.
The only one you don't dress up at is Grandad, isn't it? But I suppose that'll come many years later.
Grandad, yeah. I suppose it's not the most difficult costume, is it? The old Trilby and things, and pyjama shirt he used to wear, didn't he?
Yeah. No, it looked like a fantastic event. I loved all the live videos that he was doing throughout the day. Lots of people on Facebook commented you on them, saying it was really good watching. They felt a part of it. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I managed to fathom it in the end. Yeah, I was a bit at first, but I think it went all right. Without being technical, when it did landscape, it didn't work very well. I think it ended up being on the side on one video, didn't it? So I think if you hold your phone in normal position, it seemed to stream better, didn't it? I thought.
Yeah, but I think people really enjoyed it, especially when Sir David was speaking, at the convention. And Tony Dow, wasn't it?
Tony Dow, that's right, the director. Yeah. Yes, Tony Dow. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, we had we had sort of till 1 o'clock. We sort of met the actors and things. Then we had a lunch break, and then straight after the lunch break, Tony Dow, David Jason, and Steve Clark did the interview. And I think Steve Clark wrote a few of the Fools and Horses books. So I'm just trying to see what my book is, but it's not in here. I think it's an old book. It's got Del, Rodney and Uncle Albert on the front, and it's red. You might have it. I think it's called The Only Fools and Horses Story. It's quite an old book now, quite big as well, A3. I think he wrote that, but that was interesting. Yeah, a few, talking about the filming aspect. I remember he was talking about dates, where I think that was his first one. He really took charge of, and he had like a Waterloo station. He had to sort of do it, off peak time, obviously. And he had a big crane. The one, is it the Close Encounters scene, isn't it? Brief Encounters line. They're obviously from high up, aren't they? So he's telling us all about that. And to Hull and back was quite interesting on the Inge boat, I think it was called, wasn't it? How a lot of them had seasickness and things. And I think Ray Butt was on the oil rig. He was one of the directors, and Tony Dow was on the ship with Del and Albert, because they had to film it from both angles. And Ray Butt thought he got a better deal, but apparently liked to drink Ray Butt, and obviously there's no beer on oil rigs, is there? So they're all laughing at him, really. So yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. Yeah, seeing a different angle or a bit of knowledge you don't already know. It's all good.
I thought it was interesting about the Batman and Robin scene because the limitations of filming it helped them, which is surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he said, didn't he, Tony Dow, that it's one of the most effective things he's done, but one of the most simple things to film. Yeah. And he had the smoke, what do you call it? The smoke.
Smoke machine.
Probably know. I suppose it was just a smoke machine. Dry ice, isn't it? Yeah.
Dry ice. Yeah.
Dry ice. Yeah. So that was pretty good, but and with that it was a nightmare. That's when they obviously moved to Bristol by then because they kept getting mithered, but they basically had to have Del and Rodney hidden away, in big blankets or in a caravan, and then right action, and then they were out quick, and then smuggle them back in again because they didn't want to give away the plan or the plot to the press, really, So yeah, so that was interesting as well. Yeah.
I love that episode. That's one of my favourites, actually. Heroes and Villains, classic, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, it is. Yeah, one of the best. It's funny. It's actually, you know, when you look back to the day, you think, what could I have done or what didn't I do on the day? And that's one thing I didn't actually do was speak to Tony Dow and have a photo with him. I didn't actually do that. I saw him and I thought, oh, I'll do that in a minute or do that in a bit, and I never did do it in the
Had
end.
he
So I was a bit...
had he gone then by then, or just?
No, he got there. He sort of came in quietly, if you know what I mean. So obviously it was underway for a couple of hours. Then when we were having lunch, or just before lunch, he was sort of talking to Perry, the president of the Fools and Horses Appreciation Society. So that was the opportunity, because later on there was people with him. I don't think one or two had sussed who he was at first either, you know. And then obviously people see him, and then he was not left alone after that. So.
But you had a picture with everybody else, didn't you? Pretty much.
I did, pretty much. I'll show you the photos. Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
That was, yeah. Say, you know, when you sit down the next day, you think, well, I did everything there, and I thought, didn't have a photo with Tony or have a chat with him. So, yeah,
that's not bad. That's not bad going though, Chris.
No, that I'd take that. Be a bit upset if David Jason had forgotten to do that one, but I don't think I'm going to do that.
Here's Emily. All right, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
About that.
That's all right.
Oh, stressful.
So Chris has been telling us all about the convention. Did you enjoy watching all the things online and seeing all the pictures and stuff?
I did. I was jealous.
Me too.
It's always next time. Always next time.
What was he like?
He was great. Yeah, I'll show you some photos in a bit. But you know when you think, oh, meet me heroes, you think, will they live up to expectation? It's always a worry, isn't it? That, but
Yeah.
he more than lived up to it and surpassed it, really. You know, I think there's about 300 people there, and he had time for everybody. You know, everybody went to see him. He's an 82-year-old man who was really from 9:30 till 5 o'clock, apart from the dinner hour, never stopped greeting people. But he was speaking to everybody, you know, and giving people time, and just such a friendly, down-to-earth man, really. You know, after all he's done, you think he could be a little bit, I don't mean arrogant, but, you know, quite
blasé, or
blasé. Yeah. Because I do think that he doesn't really have to do it, does he? You know, I know people say, well, he gets paid, but he doesn't need the money. You know, I think he's putting a bit back to the fans there, isn't he, doing the convention, really?
Oh, definitely.
You know, and he's still quite sharp-witted and things. You know, he's still, you know, with the one-liners and things, and he you know, his chat's really good still. So no, he's fantastic, really. Yeah, gone up in my estimations, and that was saying something, really.
I thought it was funny when you had the picture with him, and of course you sent me the video, and I put it online, and he was admiring your cigar, wasn't he?
He was, and he was saying the smoke come out of it. So I think smoke used to come out of it, to be honest, but I've had it a few years. I've got a few of them. In fact, I've got one here. I don't know if it's the same one as I took, but it used to blow smoke. But is that blowing smoke? I don't think it is it?
It's getting a bit red. So. It's red.
Yeah, he did say it was going a bit red, that. And yeah, I'll tell you my little chat with him after, though. I'll obviously show you some photos and then get to that afterwards. But yeah, he was quite fascinated with me cigar. But I must admit that best described, I don't know if either of you are married. I don't think Chris is going to get married, I think, aren't you, actually, talking about that?
Yeah, I've been engaged more times than a switchwood. No, that's not true. First time. Yeah.
Haven't you got more rings than Bravingtons or something? Anyway. So I've been married, and I can only describe the feeling was similar, where just before I meet him in the queue, as you hear that wedding march, that's how I felt. You know, you've been looking forward to something for so long, and you thought, this is the moment that I've waited such a long time for, and it's going to happen right now. You know, and absolutely, you know, I was together, but quite, you know, really nervous. I
noticed that when you did a couple of the live videos, the people in the queues, they were sort of like pacing up and down and sort of on their toes, and yeah, it's that kind of moment.
Yeah, that's what they'd waited all day, sort of thing, for, wasn't it? So yeah, that was the pinnacle of the day. I was about fourth last person to see him, actually. It just so happened. What they did, there was 22 tables, and there's probably about 10 people on each table. So you do them at about 220 people. So rightly so, they did it on in table numbers. You had the other actors at the front of the stage, and then David Jason was at the back of the room where I was sitting in the flat. So obviously, if I just peered like that, I could actually see David Jason. So many a time I'd be, well, just and my friend was just basically staring at him, like two love-struck teenagers, looking at a pop star. So what they did, number table 22, which we went to see the other actors first. So I thought, whoa, result this is great. Obviously, when you work it out, number 1 went to see David Jason first. So that meant that us being number 22, we were first to see the other actors and last to see David Jason, which didn't matter. So, but all day it was a bit like, oh, we've not seen him yet, sort of thing. So, but I think, bless him, probably sums David up. There's 22 tables. We've got to 1 o'clock, so you should be on, if you like, table 11, shouldn't you? I think we're on about table 7 come lunchtime. So they were, yeah. So I think then the afternoon they had to they didn't say this, but I think they had to quicken it up a little bit,
Yeah, that's nice because he seemed to have a nice little chat with everybody, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I know my friend said that I'm from Crewe, but we live near Nantwich. And I don't know if you remember Danger Mouse that David did the voice for.
Yeah.
The cartoon. Brian Cosgrove, who wrote it, actually lives in Nantwich. Well, I shouldn't say too much actually where he lives, but and David Jason often used to come and visit him and things, so he's often spotted in Nantwich. So my friend said, to clarify the story, he said, yeah, I used to come to Nantwich quite a bit. So I think he still comes and visits sometimes now, even, so that'd be lucky. Maybe I'll bump into him one time.
You never know.
You never know.
So, apparently, he still does voiceover work, and he does do the Danger Mouse voice, apparently, but he wouldn't do Del Boy, apparently.
Oh, wouldn't he doesn't do Del Boy as a... No,
that's what I found out once. I don't know how, but there you go. Can't remember.
I know he'll do he addressed us all at the beginning. He was TTFN and Lovely Jubbly, but no, he didn't. With you saying that, no, he didn't do a line or two of any impressions of him. No, to be fair. But that's the thing with David. He's a bit of a chameleon that he can sort of change character, can't he? You think of all the good characters he's been, and they're very different, aren't they?
Yeah, he can jump from one character to the next, can't he?
Yeah. Frost is very different to Del Boy, and
Del
Boy's very different. Yeah. Pop Larkin was another one, wasn't it? Or Granville, very different characters.
Who was you going to say, Emily?
Granville.
Granville.
Yeah. Yeah, Granville. I mean, that's really why. Well, weirdly, he got the part because of Open All Hours. Ray Butt was watching a Virtuo episode of Open All Hours when Granville's talking about tinned apples in the back room of Arkwright's shop or something, and realised as a eureka moment, thinks, wow, David could be Del Boy, but I don't think John Sullivan was convinced that he could be. But that's what got him the part, that actual episode. Don't remember the scene, to be honest, but I think that's what got him the job, really.
And as we all know, we've said many times before, the original choice was Jim Broadbent, wasn't it? And that's unthinkable. Slater.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny when you see that episode, I think, in series 3, May the Force Be With You. You do have Nick Lyndhurst and Slater there, no Del Boy, don't you? See, I think you think, well, that could have been the scene, couldn't it, really? Yeah.
And what was that interview he did recently? He said that was the best thing he did, wasn't it? Turning down that role or something, didn't he?
Yeah, was that on Graham Norton?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because he also said, because he's had loads of different films, hasn't he? And real successful career, Jim Broadbent. He still gets recognised more for Slater than anything, he says.
Yeah, he's in Game of Thrones.
Is he really? Oh.
Yeah. I watched it like 3 times, and it took me like 3 times to notice that he was actually in there. But yeah, he's in Game of Thrones.
Of course, he's in Harry Potter, isn't he? Professor Slughorn, if you remember that. He's the potions master in one of them. Don't know if you remember.
I thought he was in Harry Potter, yeah.
Yeah. So was Trigger. So was Roger Lloyd Pack in the same... no, he was in The Goblet of Fire. Another one.
Yeah. Have you seen The Boroughs?
Yeah, it rings a bell.
He's in that.
He's in that, is he? It's where everybody's. It's a bit like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Everybody's tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draco Malfoy's in that as well.
Oh, is he? Oh.
He was younger.
So, Chris, apart from obviously Sir David Jason, who was the one person you? It's hard to say, isn't it? But like you loved having the picture with. Apart from Sir David's number one, isn't he? But
yeah, of course. But I think I have met her before. But Marlene Sue Holderness has got to be the second, hasn't she? Really, you know, in so many episodes. And she again, lovely. I was saying to my friend, she must have felt it a bit. She didn't say it, obviously, but to not have John Chalice by her side must have been quite upsetting, you know, because they'd always did the convention together, didn't they, sort of thing. So I have got the I'll show you the program actually shortly, but there's a program actually with a good interview with John Chalice. Now I was thinking, oh right, but then I thought it was supposed to be for the 40th anniversary, wasn't it, this convention? So I think John probably would have been at the convention had it gone ahead as planned, or certainly the program would have been written, you know. I think John died in September, didn't he? So Carol Chalice, John's wife, was there actually, and David did a nice thing on the mic about, you know, John sadly not being with us and what an integral part of the team he was, sort of thing. But yeah, Sue's lovely. I had a little thing with Sue where she was in my I think I might have shown you the picture. She was in my Del Boy van once. Sue was. She was doing panto in Rill as the Queen, the Wicked Queen, I think it called, wouldn't it? And she's actually got a picture of, I've got a picture of her in my van, and I wasn't there, unfortunately. My dad was there, and I reminded her of it, and she remembered. I mean, well, remembered that she's in Rill with the van, but she did remember. It's quite surprising.
Wow.
And obviously we've seen, you know, I don't know if you know all the characters that were there, but we had a few friends of the show, didn't we? Andre Bernard, and I reminded Andre of the obviously the podcast we did, and then the little sketch we did in the van, didn't we, with Rodney and her when they go out on the date, and Rodney's acting all
and you met Rico, you said, and you called him a plonker, and he remembered.
Yeah, Rico. I reminded him of our podcast again. I said, "You remember plonker?" He said, "Oh yeah, the plonker. Yeah, I remember that." Sorry, that Rico about the accent there, but yeah, he remembered that. Yeah, in fact, he did tell. He was saying that in fishing, I think he might have said on a podcast, you throw a plonker into the water. I think he said, don't you? Like you float. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I said.
Yeah. I think it's a plonker over there.
He said that's. Maybe. He said that's what he calls it from now on. He said because it makes a noise like plonk when it goes into the sea. That was it.
Right, he was telling me that. Yeah. Now this is a strange thing I'm going to say. I saw Roy Marsden and Christopher Ryan. They were Danny and Tony Driscoll.
Driscoll brothers.
Yeah. Now my conversation with Christopher Ryan wasn't about Fools and Horses at all. Why do you think that was?
Football.
No, the young ones.
Oh, the young ones.
I was a big fan of the young ones and Bottom, and I bet he thought a bit strange. He's talking about but that's how I remember him, really, more than Fools and Horses. Weirdly,
they must like that though, because they must hear all day about Fools and Horses, so they must like just talk about other stuff as well.
Bit of a change, yeah. Obviously, I said about Rick Mail. I said it was sad. I'm sad that he passed away, and then we were talking about A.D. Edmondson and Nigel Planer. He hasn't seen them for a while. They've not done anything together for quite a while. So yeah, they were great. And I'm trying to think of what's the name of Enrico? What's his name now?
Oh, I know you mean. Yeah. Quite a few people didn't recognise him because that was one of the pictures you put up, and then somebody said, "Oh, that's Enrico from Sing Old Shep." Yeah,
John Marino. I did read in the booklet actually. He's Spanish. Yeah, he like you say. I did say, "Do you sing Old Shep still?" He said, "No, I don't do that." He said he's not a singer though. To be fair, he's not a singer at all. That was Diamonds Are for Heather, wasn't it? That episode, yeah.
Although, did you see Philip Pope singing as Tony Angelino, or did you miss that?
I'd gone by then. He was there for the Sunday, but he went early to do the. Yeah. In fact, I think since our podcast, he's done it a few times, but because he said he'd never done it before, didn't he?
I think it's because we nagged him because he was like, "Why don't you do it?" I mean, you know.
He's making up for 30 years. He can't stop doing it now, I don't think. No.
It's like karaoke. Once you start, you can't stop.
Can't stop. Yeah. Nick Stringer obviously has done a podcast. Jumbo
Jumbo.
Mills. I mentioned about the wig to him, the poster there. So it was a good lineup both days. It probably would, if I'd have been closer, I think I'd have hung around that night, Saturday night. You know, because I bet some of the actors and actresses would have come, wouldn't they? You know, Saturday night, so they'd be ready for Sunday, sort of thing. So
But you wouldn't have known, would you, when they'd be there? And...
No, the only thing I did get wind of that, like you say, that Philip Pope was going to sing Saturday night there. I did hear that choiring, so I could have hung around for that. And that's the program. Yeah, that's the program we all got.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really, really good. Like I say, really interesting. A bit of an interview with most of the actors that were there both days, and yeah, good interview with Tony Dow as well. This van was up for sale actually. So this is outside the Shamrock Hotel that we were at, and had a phone number in there. So I thought, oh, I've got a van, haven't I? Obviously. So I texted him next day, and he wanted 16,000 for it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I did think, well, I hope he gets it because I've got a van as well, haven't I? So, but I don't think I'd sell mine.
No, I can't see that, Chris.
No. So when we got the goodies I've just shown you, we had we queued up about 8:30. Now this is like probably getting there for about 9. So we've no actors are there at the, you know, not on show or anything. So I just had a mooch around. I know showed the videos of this, so you can see there's a lot of memorabilia on sale, everything you could imagine. I did say to the woman, I said, I just got disorientated. There was that much stuff, you know, I could have spent a fortune. So these items, I love these items. These are like props. They're not the originals, but there's, you know, they're the same as them. So can you all spot one or two things there from different episodes?
Yeah, the hair tire.
Oh yeah. That's where Mike he goes to the hospital, doesn't he?
Yeah, with burns.
That's funny, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, modern man. Yeah, he thought it was a hairdryer, like you say, but it ended up being a paint stripper, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the cookie jar. Got the cookie jar.
Cookie jar, yeah, famous cookie jar. Candlestick. I think on there, I've got one or two pieces, as you know. I think I probably would have. I'm just trying to think what I probably the urn I quite fancied actually. If I didn't ask for the price.
Oh yeah.
From Ashes to Ashes there, yeah.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. And the dolphin hat from I think Miami Twice, obviously that, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Hellboy wore that. No, I don't know if that's the original, but I presume not. But definitely the same. And that the alarm clock, is that from Modern Man? The alarm clock when they go off when they bloody well like.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you remember where the red phone's from?
Oh, is that from where it goes hand gliding?
Correct. Yeah, it is. Yeah, T3. Very good.
I recognise the cheese.
The cheese, yeah, the cheese there. A lot of it's been signed by David. You can just make out, can't you, on the cheese thing that David signed that actually.
Only just.
Yeah, these have been made. You know, like the doors and the side panels have been made by Neil Huckle, he's brilliant at making these items. And the cat you can see there, he's made that as well.
How much is that doggy in the window? I've seen them online before signed. They go for a lot, don't they?
Yeah, I think I looked. They were about 350. I think they were. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Do they actually play the correct tune?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they play the songs as well. Yeah, really good. Like the same size, everything to spec. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think if I had, you know, a bit of money on the day, the urn or the football, I quite like that's a cigarette holder. I think that's defined as that football.
That's quite early, isn't it? From
early, yes, it is. Yeah, I'm thinking Grandad. Yeah.
When he says about Millwall winning the cup, I don't know if it's in that shot, but it sort of reminds me of that.
Yeah, you're right. Early series, yeah. So then you've got the sheepskin coat with David signed. Remember the apron? The apron.
Yeah.
When he does the curry.
When he makes
the chicken trotter for Gary, yeah.
That's it. And the bar, that's signed by all the cast.
Oh.
And I've obviously got the same bar behind me. £3,600.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you had a bit of money, the picture there. Now the Gold Door's interesting. They did a raffle on the Sunday, so anybody who went was put in for the raffle. A young lady won it, I believe. It's on Facebook, but they had a second one up for sale with, again, all autographed. I mean, it's lovely in the flesh, you know, the gold. I think that was 2,500 though. So if you'd have actually won one, you know, that it's because of that rare. I think he's only made two of them. So really nice. This is Neil Huckle's van, which is a brilliant replica.
Some sort of green stuff. You're next to.
I never asked the question. That must be an original, surely you would say, wouldn't you? I bet that appeared in the show. That drum. I would have thought. Yeah, and this is with my friend, the chandelier. So natural actor, of course. You know, you'd believe it's falling down, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah. I suppose that I was thinking that chandelier is halfway down. That's why it's so low, I think, isn't it? In a way, it's obviously falling, isn't it? In a way, there. Yeah.
That looks good though.
Yeah. Oh wow!
I don't know if you recognise this guy at all.
Yeah, he looks familiar. Yeah.
So yeah, they introduced all the actors out to start with, and then they had a quick word, and then they all sort of took the seats at the front of the stage. David Jason said, "Hope you all have a good time," and then he said, "I'm not sitting with them, am I?" And they said, "No." So he actually went to the back of the room where the flat was, and like I said before, that's where we were sitting. So it was a brilliant view. We could just peer ever so slightly, and there he was, sort of thing. So
he's looking well.
He is. He's remarkable, isn't he? 82, and he's looking very well. Yeah.
I think it's great that you get a picture inside the flat, because the only thing I've done similar, I went to a Star Wars convention because I quite like Star Wars, and I had a picture with Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. Yeah. And it's not very good because, I mean, it was great to meet him and have the picture, but it's just a blue screen in the background. There's, you know, I think it's great that you're actually in the flat.
Yeah, it does bring it to life, like you say, doesn't it, that?
That's quite rare, I think, if you go to a lot of these conventions and things. They seem to have a blue screen in the background, and it's quite boring, really. But
yeah. They sometimes have a green screen, don't they? Then they can add something as well. I thought you were going to say they might have added something, perhaps.
No, it was still great to meet him, but I mean, it was just a blue screen. You know, you couldn't add anything to it. But I think that's great.
Yeah. Like you say, you don't need a big set like the guys had got yesterday, do you? You could have just had a big picture of Star Wars, couldn't you, in the background? You know, a stormtrooper chasing you or something, really. Yeah, wouldn't you? Yeah. Now, the reason I've shown you this one is obvious. I know all fans will know it, but this is the look I was going for, obviously, which I did comment to David, and I'll mention that after. So, where are we now? Right hand. So yeah, I've got it off to I haven't got the hair, unfortunately, though. So yeah, then like I said before, we were table 22, so we were first up to meet all the actors, bar David Jason at the front. So yeah, we just did it. Obviously, this is in the order. So Helen, had a chat with Helen. So that if I said Helen Blizzard, do you remember the character Helen played?
I don't actually. She was one of the ones that you had a picture with. I couldn't remember.
She was. Do you remember, Emily?
No.
No, she was Trudy in the episode, I think, Chance of a Lunchtime. You know, the drunken lady.
Oh.
When he said, "I wouldn't be seen dead with that, let alone know it," and then she goes, "Dell."
It's a sort of girl now, yeah.
Yeah, and then she goes, "How long's it been then?" He's like, "What? How long's what been?" or something. But like I say, Helen's been. Sorry.
He was engaged, weren't they?
Yes, they were engaged. Yes, they were. Yeah, and obviously that finishes with Cassandra and Rodney have just got back together, and then he's trying to get her in the car, isn't he? And Cassandra drives past and thinks he's up to no good.
Sing old Shep.
Yeah, single Shep, John Moreno. Obviously, there's my picture. Do you know that pen in my hand? Bit trivial. See that pen in my hand?
Yeah.
I've thought, where have I left that pen? Now, I've obviously left it at the convention. From these photos, it's actually I know where I've left it. If you see in a minute, so the pen's in my hand, isn't it? There.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said to John, "Do you still sing old Shep?" But he doesn't. So, so yeah, yeah, really friendly, and Tony Carone, yeah, hugging. We're hugging each other a bit, you know, and old friends sort of thing. So, you can see the pen though there. Can you see it below us?
You
Oh,
left it with
yeah.
Rico.
Rico's got my pen, basically. You know, when you do the research, because it's gone now, I go on to the next. I've not got the pen, have I now?
No.
No.
Oh no. Nick Stringer, as we said, I mentioned the week to him and things. So he come in a car actually, and somebody commented, said, "Do the brakes work on that, mate?" And he was laughing, you know. So that was quite funny.
Yeah, because he
doesn't
was the
play-
Aussie man, wasn't he? Go West
Yeah.
Ham.
I
Yeah.
said to my friend in the queue, said it's amazing, you know, I didn't know he wasn't Aussie. He's played 2 Aussie characters and he's not Australian.
Yeah, well, we found that out, didn't we, when we did the podcast? And I was amazed. I said, "So you're not Australian, then?" And
Yeah,
didn't he say the director at the time said that he thought he was Australian as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably got the second part because of the first part, didn't he? He thought, we need an Australian guy. I know that guy who played that. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Being cast as an Australian twice. You're not Australian in 2 different characters.
Yeah, but he played it so well, the accent.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
And with Rico, I thought that was brilliant, the podcast we did with him. Because do you remember? Because he was outside and it was just like in Miami twice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were winter over here, weren't we? I think at the
Mm.
time, and they were peak summer, weren't they?
Yeah. So outside in a t-shirt and we're like freezing inside.
Yeah, a bit of a contrast. Yeah, and Roy Marsden and Christopher Ryan, obviously the Driscoll brothers. Like I say, I had a chat with them about the young ones, really, Christopher Ryan. So, but I couldn't believe. I know I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'1". Roy Marsden, I don't know what his height is. He must be 6'3", 4". He dwarfed me. Yeah, he's a huge guy, which is strange for an older guy as well. You normally younger
Shrink a
people,
bit.
the next generation are normally bigger, aren't they? So they were great. The casted as that. I think Christopher Ryan, I've got a photo in a minute actually, is shorter than David Jason, and David Jason's not tall.
Wow.
So yeah, that was and then unfortunately, yeah. So me and my friend are going down the line. My friend's going first. I'm taking a photo of him. He's taking a photo for me. Sat back down, looked at me pictures, and I had not taken a photo of Andre at all. I was gutted. I thought, oh God, what am I going to do? Because people are queuing up. As we were leaving, Andre's right by the door. She's the last one on the line. So I said, oh, Andre, I'm sorry, I didn't have a photo with you before. She says, how rude, how rude. I said, well, can I have a photo? Because we have acted together, haven't we? She said that we haven't. And then she went, oh, yeah, I suppose we have really. So, yeah, I had a nice photo with her. So I was pleased about that. And then, of course, you know, so you can see the line, actually, it's a good photo, you know, how the line worked, can't you, there, of them all lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a nice chat with Sue about my trotter van, and she remembered that. So yeah, really nice to have a chat with Sue. And then I've just put a little bit of a tribute. There's a nice tribute to John Challis with the John Challis suite. And I thought this was probably one of the nicest photos of the day. I didn't take this photo, but I thought
I saw this online earlier.
Yeah, lovely photo, isn't it? Of
Very nice.
they look like the sort of consoling each other a little bit, I'd say, aren't they? There, you know. So you can probably imagine what they're both saying to each other, can't you?
Yeah, lovely picture.
I like that photo.
Yeah, and if you can see this one, I think this is nice as well. You've got Sue holding John Challis figure, haven't you? Bobblehead figure. So that was nice as well. And then David, I was thinking this. I bet the actors don't see each other. David, do you think David's possibly never seen the Driscoll brothers since? You know, they might bump
Probably
into
not.
each other. No, probably not. You know. So yeah, it's quite.
But it's like Andre had a picture with David Jason, but did they would have met in sickness and wealth, wouldn't they? But they wouldn't have met in dates, would they?
No, weirdly, they wouldn't have. No. They were in the pub together, though, weren't they? In dates.
Mm. Oh, maybe they would have then, but very briefly. Right.
Yeah, very briefly. Yeah, I think he left her scene in dates. He's just left to go to the dating agency, I think, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think you could see there. I'd say David's slightly taller. I know it's a bit difficult to say, isn't it? But
slightly, yeah.
Yeah, slightly taller. And then I know this for a fact. They've not seen each other since the episode, and that was in. I mean, Rico actually put, we've not seen each other in 40 years. But I think they're aging each other there. It's only 30, isn't it?
Mm.
91, wasn't it? Not 81. He's probably getting mixed up with the 40 years of Fools and Horses. Do you know what? I never noticed on the day there's a Mona Lisa picture between them. I never noticed that on the day, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Like in, that's the one where he goes where they go around Trigger's granddad's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's the Ashes one.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just thinking, actually, though, that picture is from the Sunday. I wonder if the Mona Lisa picture was there on the Saturday, because I can't remember it on the Saturday. They might have altered this flat a little bit. Yeah, so that's the poster I showed you before, a bit more closer up with all the autographs there. So 283 of 300. So there might have been 300 of us there then, possibly. They did seem more than 220, if I'm honest.
And how fast did the tickets go?
They went in about 10 minutes. I think they went on sale Monday at 10 o'clock. And so I didn't actually buy mine. My friend bought mine, mine and his. And yeah, about 10 minutes. Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
They could have sold out for a week, couldn't they? I mean, it'd been hard on the actors, but yeah, they could have sold it tenfold, I think, you know.
But then from your point of view, it's even better, isn't it? I know it sounds, because less people can go. So if you get an autograph or something, it's more valuable, isn't it, as well? Not that I'm ever going to sell them, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, and you, like you say, you pay more, so you get a bit more attention. You're not queuing up loads and, you know, get like a sardine, are you? It's more spacey and things. So, you know, I never queued really. You know, like the memorabilia stall, if there was 1,000 of us, you'd be waiting. You'd just be queuing all the time, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah.
Do you recognise these two? There's a good one for you.
I do. I recognise one on the left in the yellow.
Well, that's Tony Dow, the producer. And it's Perry.
Yeah, he's from the Only Fools and Horses Appreciation Society.
Society, that's right, yeah.
I remember once I saw him on the TV when they were doing that documentary, and he's got a huge amount of memorabilia, hasn't he? And I think he was with David Jason, and he was showing him around his lockup with all the things he had.
He's got some original stuff.
I'm reading a book by David Jason, and that lots in there, like the garage thing with all the memorabilia that's in that book that I'm reading.
The lockup. Oh, cool.
This lady on the right, I've put this picture in because I was speaking to this lady. She was sort of sitting sort of to the side of David, you know, when he was doing the flat, and she was standing quite near the flat most of the time. So she would be literally, you know, yards away from me. So I'd managed to chat to her quite a bit, and I had quite a long conversation, probably for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And nice lady and things. And I just said to her, "Oh, you're David's agent?" She said, "No, I'm his wife." I said, "Oh God, wow, sorry."
Oh wow.
So down to earth, and I was chatting to her quite a bit. I mean, at one point, a daughter's about, or David and Jill's daughter, about 20, and she bought. Well, that's that. I didn't. This is where I place it. Actually, a daughter bought this. Can you see that? Oh no, you can't. Can you?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, we can see it, can't we, Emily?
You can see that? Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So a daughter bought this. Sophie bought this, and Jill, the mum, said, "Well, how many people can actually buy a your dad, a toy of your dad?" And I just joked. I said, "Taller than a dad as well." But yeah. So anyway, they stopped me seeing David after that, which was a shame, but upsetting. No, I'm only joking. So yeah, that was a nice little story, and. Yeah, obviously to finish off with the best part of all, I'm staying Lovely Jubbly there. So Lovely Jubbly, you know, with me. Yeah,
I'm glad we saw the video, because that explains, you know, your pose at the time, because it's kind of random, isn't it? Because you're talking to him about whatever, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Come on, picture," and then you're like,
yeah.
Wow.
So so obviously I'm nervous, like I say, it's my turn. So when I first sit down, I do make a fuss on my jacket. I said, do you recognise the jacket? I said, no, that's what I said. I said, "Hello, Sir David, it's a pleasure," sort of thing. And we shook hands. And then I mentioned my jacket. I was like, "Oh, do you recognise the jacket?" And I went, I'm thinking a bit nervous still. I went, "The Peckham Pouncer and all that." And he said, yes, I recognise the jacket. He said, "Is it my jacket?" I said, "Oh no, unfortunately, it's not an original." And then we spoke about, I said, "Do you see anything in Nick?" Because I asked that, and he said, "No, he doesn't really see Nick now, unfortunately." And then, like you say, Chris, he was fascinated with my cigar. I was blowing it, and he was looking for the smoke and you know, the light and things. So we had a good minute of conversation, I'd say. So that was nice. But then his wife Jill was at the side of the stage, And when I come off, she goes, "How was that?" I said, "Oh, I was really nervous." She said, "God, big lad like you nervous?" I said, "Well, yeah, it's such an honour, such a big deal, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and that's the Mona Lisa picture. So there's me and David there. He's having a look at me smoking my cigar.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's, in fact, I don't know which I prefer really. I like that one, but I like that one for, just seems to be quite, yeah. Wonder what's going through his mind there. Yeah, that Mona Lisa picture is there, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
in that shot. Yeah, yeah. In fact, I mean, stupid. They wouldn't have taken the flat down, obviously, would they? Between days.
Got the clock as well, top left.
Yeah.
Recognise
Yeah,
that.
some of that must be them curtains. Say they must be the original curtains. I would say. Do you think some of them things on there?
And the lamp's original as well.
Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't think that would be that difficult to make that lampshade if you're quite good at, drawing and things. It's quite a simple pattern, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
You got the camera there as well on the left, haven't you? The Russian PCR camera.
Yeah, you've just above that. You've got the Charles and Di plate, haven't you? Actually, as well.
You
can. Go on, Emma.
There's a bird cage as well in the corner, top left.
Again, didn't notice that on the day. That's a reference to the Who's a Pretty Boy episode.
Yeah.
The yellow. I want a yellow canary, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and £45, but was it £40 or something? But Grandad said it was £45 or something, didn't he?
Yeah, £45, but actually pay 40.
Yeah, yeah. Great episode.
With that one, wasn't the bird dead already?
Yeah,
that was the funny part of it. The parrot, or or whatever it was. Yeah,
she told him to stay out of the kitchen, didn't she? Because the bird had died, obviously. Yeah, but
they bought another bird.
Yeah, it was the kettle, wasn't it? Rodney had left the kettle on the gas ring, hadn't he? So he thought he'd choke the canary out.
Yeah, it's a good episode. I haven't seen that one too much actually, but I do remember
Series 3, yeah.
Kind of like the butterfly one. I haven't seen that a lot, but that's a good episode.
I love that one.
Yeah, it is good, isn't it? As One Door Closes, I think that one is. Yeah, the
Denzel. All right, Del.
Yeah, high five. Yeah. Who's a Pretty Boy? That's the debut episode for both Denzel and Mike. That is, funnily enough.
Oh right.
Yeah, both first episodes for them. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've not mentioned actually during the day, which was really good, we did a quiz. It was one of these quizzes that I don't know what you'd call them, interactive quiz. Where you get an iPad. So the guy asks the questions, and you got to press it on a keypad, and you just press the first letter for the answer. So
Oh, great. How do you do, or don't you know? Do you only know if you win, or don't you win? It's just for fun, or?
No, you do know. So it's great because there's a leaderboard. You score after one question. If you're quicker to answer it, you get bonus points as well. So obviously 22 teams. We were fourth overall, but
it's good.
The very last question they were giving 30 points out to, and I forget what award it was now. When did John Sullivan get the? I don't know what award it was, Lifetime Award or something. So
really
what year? With it, I was the only person who knew it in the room because it was only our team got the 30 points for that. So I thought we might actually win this, but we didn't. We came fourth. But what year do you reckon as a stab? I know I'm not probably asking the question right, but something like he got a Lifetime Achievement Award or for his services.
Maybe after the original trilogy, the original last trilogy. Maybe then.
What? You're on the right lines. What year would that be then? That he got the award?
96, 98, something like that.
Oh, I can't give you. It's 97.
Oh, 1 year out. I'm the same master.
We were the only team to get the right answer. So we got 30 points. We got 30 points that no one else got, but we still came fourth. That was the year you were born, Emily, was it?
Yeah, 97.
Wow.
That to me just shows the strength of Fools and Horses. That really, it finished, hadn't it? Really, there's only been 3 episodes since you've been alive, hasn't it? Filmed. But you're a big fan, so that's great that the next generation's now watching it as well. So
likes it as well. She's only 5, and
she laughs at it, does she?
Yeah, she laughs at the jokes, but she don't know what they mean. But
yeah, I actually remember that when I was a kid. I was watching it with my parents, and it was something about a vasectomy. And obviously back then I didn't know what it was, and they were like, "So what does that mean then?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just funny, isn't it? You know, just laughing along with them." But yeah.
I know me and my friend were saying on the way home, we were on about Cockney slang, and some things he says, I probably know what he's referring to, but I don't know where the Cockney slang comes in. Like, my April's going like a good one. What does the rhyming slang mean for that? Do you know?
I know it's for his heart, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, a bit like Kermit the Frog. We know that's Bog, don't we? Really, Kermit the Frog, Bog. But I was wondering, he'll say Kermit, won't he? So Kermit's a frog, Bog. But I can't think of I know people will be shouting at us now what it is.
Do you use any of them, the slang terms?
Yeah, I think the odd one is a bit mutton. That's always a mutton Jeff death. That's always a good one, isn't it? And
mine's the J. Edgar for J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, Edgar Hoover. Yeah, that's a good one as well, isn't it? He says brown bread for dead.
What's yours, Emily?
I use lovely jubbly a lot, or you plonker. I know one who grew up round the corner from the flats.
Oh, great! In Bristol, isn't it? Or
lives on the Fools and Horses as well. And I was talking to one night, and he used to go and play like in the car parks nearby and stuff. I was like, wow.
Oh wow, at the Bristol. It's right by the Bristol City ground, isn't it? The garages and the flats. I think you can see the flats from the ground. So, but actually, strangely, I was talking to a guy called, I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning his name, Tim Keeble. A bit late now. He does he does tours of Bristol, 4 hours.
Ethnic tours.
Yeah, a little bit like that. He picks you up from the station in his trotter van, then for 4 hours he takes you around all the you know, scenes and filming locations. So
that'd be great.
Yeah. He you know, where Rodney meets Cassandra at that was it adult education centre, and the bar's opposite, isn't it? The where the famous one, Del falls through the bar as well.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Batman and Robinstein, obviously, that's done in Bristol Shopping Centre, isn't it?
I love that one.
Yeah.
The only thing I did similar to that was I like The Sopranos, that TV show. And when I went to New York with my girlfriend then, I was like, we'll go to New York, but we got to go to New Jersey one day where The Sopranos was filmed, and we go on this tour. But she must have hated it, but I loved it. It was brilliant. But you was on this coach, and they'd show you like images from the filming, or they'd show you the video clips from it. So it sort of came to life then, because otherwise you'd be like, well, this is just a car park, or this is just, you know, really random things. So
I know they did say in the book as well that Villa Bella unfortunately was knocked down or something. So you can't go and see that. But there's obviously a few scenes at Margate that you could go to, isn't there? Where they have a chat about Eels on Wheels, don't they? And Dreamland, the fairground that we go to, you could visit that as well, and the beach obviously as well.
That's my dream stag do, actually. Go to Margate.
Yeah, why not? Well, I might get an invite, mightn't I? Maybe.
Yeah, well, we're going to meet up, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we
see the musical. That'd be good. Emily could come as well if you're free. I mean, if you can get here, that's the thing. But, yeah.
If I'm not busy with David Jason, because he's not seen the musical yet, Chris, I might have to dump you if David Jason. We could all go, couldn't we?
Yeah, all four of us.
Yeah. We won't have to fight. Sits to David. Have to sit in the middle, won't he?
Where's the musical?
London.
Haymarket Theatre in London. I think it's near the Palladium actually, or something. So.
Never been London, so I don't know where it is.
Oh wow, that'd be a treat.
Oh right, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, to be fair as well, what I would say as well, Bedford. I'm from Crewe. It's about an hour and a half, so I would say it's a reasonably central point as well. You know, it's not deep. Would you say, Chris? Not deep in the heart of London, is it? It's a bit more.
Yeah, it's not too bad really. It's quite easy to get to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got the tube everywhere, haven't you? There's a tube station right by it. So, yeah. I've got no excuse. I'm only an hour away, so I've definitely got to go.
yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I think trains for me aren't bad. If I plan it in advance. Train, about £40 train. Might get a Premier, mightn't I, for 40 or 50 quid, or a travel lodge. Other hotels are available, of course. Yeah.
And how much?
Sorry.
Cool.
Train's better than driving. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can have a few pina coladas then, Emily, can't you? See?
Yeah. No matter what, I forget my stop.
Yeah, I think it's a direct train as well, so that's quite good. Yeah, Tony Dow's the only person that I didn't have a chat with, unfortunately, or
well, we'll get him on a podcast. It'll be all right, Chris.
Yeah, we'll get him on a podcast. Yeah, I didn't actually speak to the guys who've not been on a podcast either, unfortunately. I know I did even take my cards, but I didn't. Oh, I tell you what probably didn't help me. We were first up to see the actors, so you were still a little bit, I'd not really, settled down. Perhaps it's still a bit adrenaline.
Nervous.
Still going.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, I think if I'd have had half an hour to sort of plan a bit, and I might have been a bit more easier. But they're saying that there's only, I suppose it's testimony to how good it's been with the podcast, that there's only Trudy, Enrique, and Driscoll brothers, the only ones we haven't had on the podcast that were there on the Saturday.
And Sir David. That's it.
Oh, Sir David. Yeah. Yeah, Sir David as well. So, but yeah, no, definitely recommend it.
Which one's the real bell? 3, 2, 1.
And then look, we're nearly there, so we've got to take that.
I got that.
Bookie Street, Bookie Street.